Cape Cod, a region renowned as a summer escape, famous for its beaches, seafood, and coastal community. My family's been coming to the Outer Cape every year for as long as I can remember, and it's one of our favorite places to go on vacation. But we're here for something else as well. The Cape's legendary bass species.
There we go.
From the surf of the cresting waves to the still of the weed edges, the Cape is some of the best bass fishing around.
Yep. To take on the saltwater side, we met up with Patrick Cassidy of Cape Cod on the Fly. Along with his buddy Rob Archibald, we went and fished for stripers on the aquatic waters just off the Cape.
My name is Patrick Cassidy. I'm the owner-operator of Cape Cod on the Fly, a fly fishing guide service here on Cape Cod. To my estimation, one of the best places to fly fish in the world, an iconic fishery in so many respects. Cape Cod is a place where I've been coming to fish for almost 40 years at this point. Cape Cod is a tourist destination, but it's also just got an incredible diversity of ways to basically go after these fish, whether it's flats fishing, going out in the rips like we did today, going and fishing from a beachfront. The primary fish that everybody thinks about here on the Cape is going to be striped bass, but then we got the bluefish that show up after that. And then, if you ever do get bored with both of those, which I don't know why you would, you got bonito and albies who show up in August. But all of these species combined make for a fishery that is just, again, unbiased, but I think it's the best in the world.
So I met Patrick at the dock super early that morning, and the first thing he asked me immediately is, "Do you get seasick?" To which I replied, "Not usually." And then he responds, "Well, we'll find out."
And yeah, so it's gonna be bumpy, Jake.
All right.
It's gonna be foggy. We're gonna go slow getting out there, and then hopefully catch a bunch of fish early.
And boy, he wasn't lying. Very quickly on the ride out, I just decided it was best to tuck the camera away and hold on so I didn't end up falling out of the boat, ending up as shark bait. So we get out there finally just as the sun's coming up, and we're fishing what's known as the rips out at Monomoy. And in the current conditions, it's basically like fishing in the wave machine that you might learn to surf at a water park. And there's birds cruising around everywhere and they're swooping down in on bait. So Rob takes the rod and heads to the back of the boat.
Swing and hook, swing and hook.
Yeah. And he makes maybe 3 casts and right away hooks up.
On the reel?
No. Not real worthy.
Not real worthy.
Cool guy, he's feisty.
Even irritated on that. Tap him.
Although, I guess if you're filming, you're gonna be like, no, go for it.
Catching the views. Hey, there we go.
Okay.
Maybe striper.
So we land that fish, and then Patrick takes the rod from him, Takes maybe 3 or 4 more casts. Yeah.
Bigger than yours.
Clearly.
We went after stripers in the rips, got some early.
Really chunky.
So then after that, Rob and Patrick were nice enough to hand me the rod and let me get in the back of the boat. And it took me a minute or two longer than them, but eventually I got hooked up.
Ready? Watch the spike on the back. Alright, that was a nice fish, dude.
Feel free whenever you're ready. I'm rolling.
Good?
Yeah. All right. Heck yeah.
All right. I think you got your PB was 34, 35-inch striped bass.
And with each of us then on the board, we decided to go play around with a bait and switch and see if we could find some fish that way.
It's a very visual place to fish.
I don't think we were actually able to get any of them to commit to the fly afterwards, but just watching them come up and hit that plug was just insane.
There were a lot of casts though. Rob and I were saying our arms were a little tired.
Striped bass are one of the great stories of fisheries conservation. Their populations once severely diminished, a series of regulations changes has helped to bring the populations back.
Yeah, so the striped bass is really where a lot of effort and concentration is placed from a regulatory management perspective, and there have been changes over time. The slot size limits, 28 to 31 inches for a recreational angler, 1 fish a day, was probably a good move. Again, I don't fault anybody for playing by the rules. If you're taking your fish under the regulations, then good on you. But again, cracking down on any sort of poaching that's going on, more education as far as fish handling and getting these fish back in the water and getting them swimming again and swimming off and surviving is going to be important from a striped bass perspective. I don't think education is focused on nearly enough.
However, many of the recent reports have been more alarming.
Some concerns about what's going to happen in the next few years. Right now, the fishing's good. Right now, there are big fish around. You can catch big striped bass and everything looks good, but kind of looking down the line, the replacement of that population isn't really there.
To the well here, Rob. Going your green tail.
And so eventually we move over to a new spot, and it's crazy foggy, but we are just completely surrounded by birds.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. And just
Nice.
almost immediately, Patrick and Rob just start hammering fish.
A bump.
Bump?
Yep. Oop. And then a fish.
Be real.
Yeah, I think it's the drag. Yeah. What if it's the drag? Well, the drag. Look at the camera. What if it's the camera? Oh, boy. You've been out for all day.
Patrick.
It's in the bow. Oh, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that feels better.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Oh yeah, I saw one roll right there. You see
Yeah.
the diagonal? Oh, another one.
A little bigger. Yeah, fatty. Not the biggest thing. Oh, perfect release. Quick release. Perfect. Still counts. Touch the leader.
Yeah, I mean, striped bass is probably, for so many people, one of the first saltwater species that they may get on the fly. They may go off eventually and do tarpon and permit and bonefish, but striped bass, the east coast of the United States and our area in particular, during a big chunk of the year, is where these fish live.
Fly must not be working right. There we go. That fish is not happy, and he's also like very fresh all of a sudden. I literally almost had him to the tip of the rod.
They're strong. They got, broad shoulders, big tails. They're adaptable to any particular environment that you put them in.
I think it's safe to say we found a pretty good spot right there that we liked.
And so finally, that pod kind of died down, and so we went to go look for some bluefish later in the day.
That's crazy.
There we go.
Quite strong enough to do anything. Oh, come on. No, I still got him. No, I don't. Oh, no, I do.
Jump.
Oh, no, I don't. Yeah, I do. Remember how I broke my rod on that albie, Rob, by putting my rod like this, doing exactly what I'm doing right now? Go. Bonito.
Ended up on bonito at the end of the day, which was super fun. I think we were imagining those were going to be more bluefish than bonito, but I'll take bonito in, what is it, July right now, any day of the week.
Which we ended up actually making into fish tacos, which was pretty cool. It was just an awesome day in the water, so huge shout out and thank you to Patrick and Rob for letting me tag along with them.
Just being out with people and going fishing with them and getting them into their first striped bass or their personal best striped bass, as the case may be, or into a bluefish or a bonito or an albie. And enjoying that moment with them. Every fish that comes on board is kind of like the first one, and there's not a lot of jobs that you can have that are like that. And that's really what this is all about. Long winter nights, being able to look back and remember that time when you hooked into that big bass or into a bluefish or an albie, and kind of live off that, feed off that until you get out there again.
If you're looking for a lesson or to book a trip, please reach out to him at Cape Cod on the Fly. Patrick's an awesome guy, and we'll make sure to hook you up with all the info you need, and you'll have a great time learning and fishing with him.
Yeah, it was just a ton of fun. I like fishing. I love fishing.
And with all those stripers brought back to the boat, it was time to switch from the coast to the kettle ponds and to target the large and smallmouth bass that live there.